Welcome to the class of English, and we are passing on to the welcome children. We are start the lesson journey to the top, and it should be unit 6 and page number 91. How all of you knowing about to the Mount Everest, and when we are going to climb a Mount Everest, we have to make some efforts for climbing up the mountains. And if we are knowing about the name of the persons, Bachenri Paul, and she is the first woman to climb a Mount Everest onto the top. And when she was having a little girl, she was thinking about for climbing the Mount Everest. And some of the peoples are always having their ambitions in their mind, and they go on thinking about the achieving their goals. Like Kalpana Chawla, she is also wishing to go for the sky or to the space or satellite, and she achieved that in their view. And also here Bachenri Paul is also to become as famous as when she was going to climb the Mount Everest. And here we are going to discuss about to the Bachenri Paul. Here you have seen in the page number 91 some figures will be given, and she was wearing something on her back, and it was for going for the climbing towards the Mount Everest. And she was coming from the poor family, and she was always wishing to climb the Mount Everest. When she was at the age of 12, she achieved that one first time. And here observe the picture, and she puts her life in a nutshell like this. The pictures above are Bachenri Paul. You are now going to read her successor story. She puts her life in a nutshell like this. Nutshell means you have seen about the nuts, that means the groundnuts. And when you are opening that groundnut shell, you have observed some seed inside that, and it should be precious. Likewise, your almond shells also, and it should be covered. Likewise, Bachenreppa life was also covered like a shell. And when we are going through her life history, we will go knowing about that who was Bachenri Paul. And here Bachenri Paul, page number 92. Children's passing on to the page number 92. Bachenri Paul was the first Indian woman to climb the summit of Mount Everest, the middle one of 5 children. Here, Bachenri Paul was the first Indian woman to climb the Mount Everest, and the year she was born in a small poor family, and she was the middle one of 5 children. In their family, they are having 5 children. In that, she was the middle one. Middle one means the upper will be 2 and the lower will be the 2 persons or 2 children will be there. She was the middle one, and she was born in 1954. She was born in 1954 at Nakuri, and it is in Uttarakhand. And in Nakuri, a small village in the Garhwal Himalayas in the present Uttarakhand. Now it is placed in the Uttarakhand. Thus, that village will be situated in Uttarakhand. Now it is belonging to Uttarakhand only. Bachenri was from a modest background. Here she was going to become a small background family. Her father was a border tradesman. Here, border tradesman means he was selling something from the inside to outside of the states, that should be in border places. And her father was a border tradesman who would take wheat flour. He was selling from his place to the other border for wheat flour and rice from India to Tibet on mules. And he was wishing to sell that things towards to the Tibet. In the earlier, Tibet is belonging to our side only. Wheat flour and rice from India to Tibet on mules. Mules means it should be a smaller animal and not bigger than horse and not smaller than donkey. In between these two animals, and that animal is called mules. Horses and goats, and also he was placing the things or the material to the horses and goats and transfer from one place to another place, that is India to Tibet. And he eventually married and settled near Uttarkashi. And in the meantime, was going to married and settled near Uttarkashi, where the couple raised their family. And when he was going to be married in Uttarkashi, where the couple will be raised their family, the family will be coming in the execution in Uttarkashi. Always a rebellious child, Bachendri loved wandering in the snow-clad Garhwal Himalayas. Always a rebellious child. Bachendri Pal was always against fights against something, or she was always resisting herself, and she was more than rebellious nature in her life only. Bachendri loved wandering in the snow-clad Garhwal. She was always walking or moving here and there in the snow-clad area. Snow-clad means covered with snow. When covered with snow means particularly we are not going to see the places will be there or not, and it should be covered with the ices, full of ices, that is called snow-clad areas. And she was Garhwal Himalayas. She dreamed of flying in aeroplanes. She was always dreaming to fly in aeroplanes and meeting famous people, and this always amused her family. And she was wishing to meet the famous people, and this always in resist their family or amusing her family. She was an active child and did well in her studies at school. And when she was an active child and he was well in her studies, and she was always become first in the school, and she shows her activeness in the school also. She excelled in sports too. She was joined in sports too and achieved there also her activeness in the sports condition or in the sports field also. She was independent and fearless. She was always growing independent and fearless. Fearless means nothing taking care of the fear. And she was rebellious. In the earlier only we discussed about that. She was a rebellious child. She was not fearing about to the difficulties. She was always fearless only. She climbed together with a group of 12-year-old classmates. She was going to climb a mountain when she was at the age of 12-year-old, and she was going to climb along with the classmate 4,000 meters and of 13,123 feet height during a picnic. When she was 12 years old, she went to the picnic towards her classmates, and she was climbed 400 meters height. As she could not come down before nightfall. When she was going to the picnic, she was not coming to the downside when the nightfall will be occurred, and she was roaming there only or climbing the Mount Everest only. She had to spend the night there. She also spent the night there only. At the age of 12 only, she was going to spend the night in that cold condition and in the cold weather, and also and the snow will be falling. She won't care about that, and she spent their night in that place without food or shelter along with the others, and nobody will having any food and shelter for along with the others. And pass on to next page. The experience remained in Bachendri's memory. It increased her. That is, go on increase. When we pass on to Bachendri's memory, it increased our love for adventure. When we pass on to our memories, and it tells something about the adventure and the mountain adventure of mountains, and she was increased her love towards to the climbing of mountains. At 13, like most Garhwal girls, when she was going to become Nar in the place of Nakuri at the age of 13, like most Garhwal girls, she was expected to leave school. Most of the girls will be expected to school in that place and help in the house, and they go on helping hand towards to their mothers or their fathers, or they will do something in the house. But here Bachendri Paul's determination to study impressed her parents. Here Bachendri Paul was impressed by her parents by studying the further, who allowed her to finish high school. They will allowed her, the Bachendri Paul's parents will allowed her to finish high school. As a student, she earned money by sewing in her spare time. When she was a student, also she earned some money by sewing the clothes in the remaining time. The principal of her school persuaded her family to send her to college. When she was finishes her high school, the principal of that school was intensely influenced her, and also he was wishing to ask the parents to send to her to college, where she was going to defeated both boys and girls in rifle shooting and other competition. When she was going for the college, in that time she was defeated with rifle shooting both boys and girls, and she won a gold medal also in that time. Her BA graduation thrilled her parents. Her BA graduation will thrilled her parents. She was going to finish her BA graduation. In the earlier time, when somebody is gone made her graduation, it should be difficult. But nowadays, it should be as usual. The graduation is going to be took place, who had wanted her to be the first girl in the village with a degree. And in that family, they are thinking that the first girl in the village having a degree. She eventually did on MA in Sanskrit and then BA. Afterwards, she done her MA in Sanskrit and then B.Ed. She finishes her B.Ed afterwards. In spite of these achievements, the job offers that came in were only temporary and junior level positions. And when she was finishes her B.Ed, and in spite of these achievements also, the job offering will be came only temporary and junior level position. See how our talents will be going in vain. And she was thinking like that only. Inspired by her love for the mountains, Bachendri decided to apply to the Nehru Institute. She was thinking that temporary and junior level position, and also in the meantime, she was inspired by loving nature or loving towards the mountains. She was decided to apply to the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. It was located in Uttarkashi, and it was situated in Uttarkashi for the basic mountaineering course, and she was joined to the basic mountaineering course. She was judged the best student in the course. When she was joined to the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, she achieved something in there, and she was also judged the best student in the course. She fulfilled all the things what the coaches will be going to be needed, and she was awarded as best student in the course, and much to her surprise was marked down as Everest material. and she was marked down as Everest material. She completed her advanced mountaineering course, and also as well as she was going to completed her advanced mountaineering course too with flying colors. She was making fun with colors, and she was finishes her advanced mountaineering course, and Bachenri climbed the Gangotri, and she was in the meantime climbed the Gangotri. It is located in Himalayas, and 6,672 meters and 21,900 feet, and Rudugariya 5,800 meters or 19,091 feet in an advanced camp 1982 during her time at Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. She was climbed at the time when she was in Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. Thank you, students.